Now, what you could do is, since this is all, these are tender now, you could throw in your potatoes in here and let them go for about 5 or 10 minutes. Then throw in your onions and bell peppers. Or you could decide to take the meat out, as I'm going to do, and just place them inside of a bowl, stainless steel bowl. That's just so they don't cook anymore, because I don't want this falling apart. I want these to stay whole and meaty. So I'm going to dig all these out, and then I'll return. Okay, there's the oxtails out of the pot. Okay, now I've drained the potatoes, and there's the sauce right there, and it still has all the oil on it, and that's fine for now. We're going to add in as much potatoes as you like to add in. So I've got some here. I don't know if I'm going to put all these in here. I'm going to start off with about half and see how that looks. I don't want this to just be potatoes, but I do want some potatoes in there. We like the flavor of that. That's what we like, and you can see the color, the yellow in there. So we're going to go ahead and set those and let those steam in here. That should be enough. Now, I'm going to show you what to do with the leftover potatoes in just a minute. As we've done before, stop, pressure, 10 minutes, start. That's all we need. What we're going to do with these is we're going to save these. These have been washed and, set nice, but these would be great for country potatoes. So I'm going to take a bell pepper and some garlic and some onion, dice them up, put this in a plastic bag, and whenever I'm ready for potatoes in the morning for breakfast, I'll have potatoes ready to go. Nothing ever goes to waste. These will be thrown in with a little bit of onion, a little bit of bell pepper, and ta-da! Put a little oil on the pan, vegetable oil, and make potatoes for breakfast. Okay, there you have it. This will be stored away for breakfast in the future. Got onions, bell peppers, the leftover potatoes, and a little bit of garlic. Just mix them up in the bag. I'll suck the air out, throw them in the freezer, and there's a bag of breakfast potatoes. Ooh. Potatoes are perfect. They need salt. But what I'm going to do is, when I usually make my oxtails, you know that oil on top I reserve for making a roux. And I take that from the last batch, and I made this. This is the roux that I made. So before I skim that oil off, I'm going to add in some of this roux here from the other batch that I made. Or you can just take out the oil you have, add in about that much. And that's just as a thickener. Now you could skim off the oil and put it in a skillet with some flour, brown it without burning it, stir it, constantly stir it till it gets thick. And then that'll be your roux, and you add that back in. And then when you're all done cooking, right before you serve, you skim all that oil off and reserve it for the next batch. Understand? It's like a sourdough starter. You save that good stuff for next time. I want to show you. All I did was add the roux in. I haven't brought this to a boil or nothing yet, but it still was piping hot. But can you see how it automatically just thickened that gravy up? Really thick that fast. Went from a watery base to a thick base by just adding that roux in there. And I didn't use that much. As you can see, it's thickened up a lot just by just adding that roux in there. I'm not breaking up anything, but as you can see, there's your potatoes, your carrots, and it's nice and thick. So now we're going to go ahead and add in the peppers and onions that we had here chopped up. Add those in. Get those in there. Then we're going to go ahead and add back in the oxtail meat right on top. Doing this with one hand, so bear with me. You don't want to break these up, so be gentle. May have to add a little more water in this because it's going to be good and thick. There you go. See how that looks? That's oxtail stew. Curry oxtail stew. You can do it the exact same way without adding the curry, and that will be fine. So we're going to go ahead and go down to the control here. Go to menu. Go to simmer and start. That'll get it up to a simmer. We'll allow that to cook down. And while that's been cooking here, put the top back on it. I went ahead and took some Uncle Ben's rice, added a little curry to it, and made a little yellow rice here, as you can see. And that'll be served with it. Flaky fork. I don't know if you're picking it up, but it's got a nice yellow hue to it. It's from the curry. As soon as that's done, I always unplug it. And there you have it. Curry rice. Next, we'll plate this meal up when everything's all done. Okay? All the young chefs out there, always sample your food before you serve it. I'm going to go ahead and, this is a different spoon here. Rinse it off. I got two. So here's one and here's the second. Go ahead. I tasted a moment ago and it needed salt. The salt is good now, but there's no kick. We put cayenne pepper and we put red chili flakes, but the amount of potatoes, it'll absorb all that flavor. So what we're going to do now is we're going to add a little bit in that bam, bada, bing. This is that habanero sauce I always put in my curry goat and my oxtails and stuff like that. And the recipe's on one of my other videos. I'm going to go ahead and add just a taste of this in here. This stuff's like battery acid, strong. So just a taste. You can always add, but you can't take away. That's all you need. Remember, this is habaneros. It's right there. We're going to get that to go in the pot. And we'll let that cook down with this and simmer. And that's all the fire we're going to add back to this pot. We may add a little more water, but so far, so good. As soon as those vegetables are tender, we'll be ready to skim and serve. Okay.